So it can be an asset if you recognize that you can use that title to your advantage in other areas of your life other than your medical career. You can be a doctor and still be other things in life. So if you use that title to your benefit, not in a pompous or showing off kind of way, but in a way that people can get to know that you're a doctor and they'll sort of regard you in a better standing. Most of the times when I meet people for the first time or I'm working somewhere, I don't even say I'm a doctor. And so they get to know later, but when they find out later on their own, it's like, wow, hey doctor, you didn't even tell us. You know, we didn't know. And then the attitude kind of changes. So you do get that kind of reverence, which can be an asset if you know how to utilize it and if you know that you are not your title. Yes, you're a doctor, that's just one of the things you do. It's not who you are. I'd like to believe there's more to all of us than just the fact that we are doctors. So there's more we can do with our lives apart from just being doctors. So you only restrict yourself through your own thinking. Yes, you can be a good doctor, but what else can you be in life? Can you start a business? Somebody's passionate about business. Why can't you start that business? Somebody likes lab work. I'm sure there's something you can do as a doctor that will put you in the lab, research, something like that. So if you realize that medicine is just one of the things you do and there's more opportunity out there for you, you can grab that opportunity and utilize it and still find time for it if you're passionate enough about it. And one of the things you need to do is have a vision for your life. How many of you have a vision statement for your life?
Okay. It's about how I intend to live my life. 10 years from now, since I'm a student. I'll just read it out so that it makes me focused on what I want to do.
Which is good. So you can write any period you want, but the point is, are you actively looking forward to your future? Are you actively planning for it? Or is it just something that happens by chance? You know, something comes along and you're like, oh, yeah, it's a good idea, let me do that. Oh, there's a scholarship for this, oh, let me go for that. Is your life like that, or there's a plan to it somewhere? There's a direction to it somewhere? You know, they say if you have no destination, then it doesn't matter where you're going. You can go anywhere, but if you have a destination, it matters what road you take. And so your vision is your destination. And it can be anything. It can be a one sentence, it can be a 1 page, it can be 20 pages. It's up to you and how you envision yourself. And the whole idea behind self-actualization is that what a man can be, he must be. Self-actualization is all about bringing out the best in yourself and bringing out the best in other people. So it's about utilizing yourself. As someone said once, that by the time you die, you should die empty. You know, that has a notion that there is something in you that you're meant to bring out in your lifetime. So by the time you die, you can say, hey, I brought it all out. I did everything that I thought I could do with what abilities I had. But in summary, it's the thought that you have such potential in you, that potential surpasses you being a doctor. Yes, it's a big achievement, but there is a lot more you can do with your life. And there is a lot more you can pursue, a lot more you can show the world than just being a doctor. These are some of the things that stop us from being self-actualized. Fear is a big one. And negativity. One of the biggest reasons people don't pursue their dreams or do anything beyond their normal career is the fear of failing, fear of what others will think. And so we're afraid of others, we're afraid of ourselves, we're afraid of failure, we're afraid of what society will say about us. We're afraid to take off our shirt in public and celebrate because of what others might think. And so fear, it holds us back. That is why my second book is Power Principles for Fearless and Abundant Living. Because once you have your purpose clear, you want to move to a stage where you can act on that purpose. And that means you have to be fearless. You have to be brave to pursue your dreams. In terms of career path, as we close, if you follow the well-trodden path of doing M.Med, working somewhere, becoming a consultant, that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, that's a good thing. Just make sure it is something you want for yourself, and you're not just following the crowd. Okay, avoid the herd mentality. Because as doctors, I think we have a lot of herd mentality. We follow what our seniors have done, because it's proven, it works. You know, it's a very safe thing to do. There's no risk. So we tend to follow that path, not knowing that we can make our own path and do our own things. Okay? As a medical doctor, I'm not a clinician anymore. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I don't like seeing patients anymore. The area I've gone into is public health and monitoring and evaluation. Because that's what makes me happy. That's my niche that I found, and that's where I'm comfortable. And that's where I feel fulfilled, rather than being in the hospital and seeing patients. So that is not a usual path that doctors take. A few others have done it, but you need to think for yourself. Avoid following your peers. Outside of medicine, you need to have other interests. Like I said, if you're coming to my room, no school, let's talk about other things that are going on in life. So even as a doctor, you know, when you knock off, you meet doctors these days at a public place, and I'm so shocked. What they want to talk about is how their unit is working, how the consultant is treating them, you know, all those negative things that are going on in the hospital. And that just bores me. I'm like, so at work, you're dealing with this. You're off work, you're still dealing with it. You go home, you're still dealing with it. When are you going to let it go? When are you just going to do other things? Think about other things. So you need to have other things. And you know what, as a coping strategy, that is very good. Because if you know that your work in a challenging environment, and let's face it, being a doctor in Zambia, for the government especially, is very challenging. There's a lot of frustrations. But if you know that I'm at work from this time to this time, and once I knock off, I can do my own things, pursue my own dreams, you'll be less frustrated. And even your work will improve because you know that, hey, I'm just doing this for a little while, then I go and do my own things. So even your work attitude will improve, and you'll feel less frustrated because you'll be happy and fulfilled in other areas of your life. So, what's in the title? I said at the beginning that the reason I've put all these titles at the beginning of this slide, the first slide, will become clear. Because I'm a doctor, yes. Or CPC stands for Certified Power Coach, which Aaron had mentioned. It's a life coaching qualification. So I'm a medical doctor, yes. I'm a consultant, public health specialist, yes. I'm a certified life coach, motivational speaker, yes. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also an author. Do you know why I put all those things up there? Because you can be anything you want to be. Why are you restricting yourself to being a doctor? You can do so much with your life. Why are you satisfied with just being a doctor? I'm sure you can think of at least one or two things you could be doing other than being a doctor to make your life richer and the lives of other people richer. And that's my closing statements in most of my articles and what I write. You are all you can be. Go on and be it.
Dr. Moses, as he mentioned, is an author and he has written 2 books, and I've bought both of them. Every time he writes a book, I pursue him to buy his books and read them. It's one thing to read about these self-development books from people you've never met. It's another to read them from people that you know and whose lives you can model yourself after. Okay?